Hello and welcome to another episode of the Replay Review series. I'm your host Dadak, and today we'll be looking at a game from ZEUS, the other team I'm coaching. Again on King's Row because I wanted to kind of compare them as well, since ZEUS also played a King's Row map, was kind of given. So, since they played a King's Row recently, as well as, Four Gold Chains playing King's Row recently, I thought I might just, look at them playing King's Row as well. Let's just start off with the team comps as usual. So, since I am pretty certain that the comps don't stay this way, I'm gonna just click play here and we're gonna go on to the... we'll wait until we see the swaps that they make. Okay, so enemy team did some strategies, some advanced techs. So this is the comp the enemy team is running. This is your comp. You are red this time. We see Reinhardt Zarya, classic. We see Brawl Potential on the Reaper. We see spam in Junkrat, and we see mass healing for grouped off targets in Moira, and speed for your Rein on the blue team. Only things that these type of comps lack is since they run the Junkrat and they are running the Reaper, right? They don't have anything to contest a flying target such as Pharah or Echo. And they lack utility by playing Moira. So Moira has high heal potential, high damage output, but lacks the ability to have a good support ultimate or any sort of supportive ability such as nade, immortality and such. So that's why Moira is oftentimes discarded as a hero whatsoever, since she doesn't bring much to the table. With the classic stuff with like Ryan Zarya, they're probably gonna all run together except for maybe the Junkrat. Junkrat's probably gonna stay on his own spamming from certain angles. On your team, we're going to talk about your team later, since I'm pretty certain you're gonna swap off this. So the enemy team TP'd into this corner from here to here. You saw it at the beginning. This way you do not know that they are in fact there. The only one you know that is there is the Lucio, and he's probably gonna be their type of bait. The easiest target to go for right now is the Junkrat. If your ball spots him, he's the easiest target to kill, as he is alone right now. Of course the team is gonna rush in and try do something once they have baited somebody into thinking that, they are set up somewhere around point, wherever they may be. I'm gonna play this out. We're gonna talk about your comp in a minute once you swap off like some of the picks you did, since I'm pretty sure you're not gonna stay on them. So the ball falls for the trap. The ball falls for the trap. He sees them, but they don't really seem to do anything about the ball. Now you know that they are there, and your sim just flat out kills the Junkrat. So this is a bit chaotic. You're all over the place. I don't know why your sim is your front line right now. I do not know why your sim is your... That's a terrible arrow. Anyways, I don't know why your sim is your front line right now. Like, ball is disrupting people, right? We see ball disrupting people, doing damage by disrupting. There's one of them is easy killable right now. That's in fact their Moira, so you might get a second pick. The Junkrat is already dead. This didn't work out for your enemy team's favor. They just kind of got rolled. If your Rhino pushes in now and like pushes past the enemy Rhine, you're gonna win this fight. If the Hanzo goes over top, for example, and spams down this way, You're gonna win this fight. The only thing I'm worried about is your Symmetra, because she's kind of out of position. And I have the fear that she's gonna die here. So we see people engaging onto your sim. And your ball dice. Your ball dice. In a 1v1 against the Reaper. Huh, unlucky I guess. Should have gone for it anyways. So the Reaper spams on your Rhine has 1 HP, you can be killed by the enemy right now. So your ball swaps to a Zarya, and this seems to be the comp you want to be going on for continuing this fight. Yeah. So your Zarya is gonna come back. You're taking a 5v5 right now? 5v5 right now. Enemy Junkrat probably on his way back still? Yeah. So it's about to be a 5v6. It's... I didn't mean to do that. New buttons. New buttons, you see options, that's a new one. Which is B. I need to get used to that. You see... They're not dying, that's nice. Okay, so it's a 5v6 now. You can engage now, because you are free to go. Right now, you're free to go. Go in. So right now, you're free to go. Go in. Your Arna's kind of low. Sure, she's half. That's fine. Angle is fine. Shooting down this way. Could have also gone here and shot down this way. If you let your Anna had more time, she would have probably gone upstairs this way to get higher access up here. Or she could have gone like this way and get higher upstairs up here. You just push this and you win. Your Zarya is on her way. That's your Mercy up here. Your Zarya is on her way, just like the Junkrat is. The Junkrat is going to get there first. So it's probably going to be a 5v5, and when the Zarya is there, it's going to be a 5v6. So this is the time when you can actually like hard push. That's a massive anti. You just push this. Everything just dies. That's a big ass anti. Okay, you know about the backline, that's nice. Okay, let's see. Go like here. It's probably where your next fight will be at. Your Hanzo, I like that he's already taking position. Hanzo's already taking position, getting pocketed by Mercy. If he gets a lucky pick here, you just push in again and you win. Your Reinhardt should be all the way up here. I don't know why he is not. Your Reinhardt is like, for some reason, not your front line right now. Don't know why. I do not know why your Reinhardt wasn't your front line. But now he's nanoed and the Reinhardt just swings one. The Lucius dead here. If he does a turnaround slam, he can also get the Doom. The Reaper's just gonna raid out. Okay, charges in. You commit a Dragon 2. That's like 3 ults, 4 ults. Kinda. You didn't need that many ults, right? Some stuff was kind of unnecessary. The wall usage, I don't really care about. To engage a wall is fine. Like, if a wall goes straight through, for example, if you were to like put a wall straight through the middle section here, since you can zigzag right through the wall, and you can shoot through the wall, you're going to have an advantage. So committing wall here was okay, I think. Committing nano was fine. It killed the Lucio. The dragon did not do much. It finished off the Doomfist, and Zarya is 40 on Graph. So if Zarya is this low on Graph, it is usually fine to commit Dragon, but there was no reason to commit Dragon. You would have won the fight without Dragon anyways. And there was no reason to really commit the Valk, I think, as well. When did you actually pop Valk? That would be an interesting question we might ask. If I may ask, when did you commit Valk? Okay, so there goes the wall. There goes the wall. You use the wall to start off the fight. You use the nano to start off the fight. Okay. You just used all ults. Just like bam, 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 bam. Just get them out, right? But you didn't really need to. The dragon had good positioning if the enemy team was trying to stay in the fight, but they didn't anyways. Like, they were already one down and their arena's antied, so of course they're gonna be backing off. Although this is a fine dragon positioning, it doesn't really do much in this scenario. I also don't know why you Valk, you didn't really need it since you already were 1 kill up. When it happened, right? When you started Valking, you were already 1 up. Next fight. So now, since you committed so many ultimates, also Demoted did the right thing, die on cart to prevent staggering and stuff if she can't get out. Since you used that many ults now, so you used Ana, Nano, you used Dragon, you used Wall, and you're using Valk. You have 1 ultimate, which is Reinhardt's remaining. Enemy team has 3 ultimates, almost 4. So, I don't know. It's now 4 ults against 2 ults when it could have been 4 ults against 4 ults if you didn't just commit all of them at the same time for no real reason, I guess. Anyways. So yeah, look at the ult management and such. Nothing really happening right now. You can go forward a bit, I think. Okay, that's a bit too far. This looks like the beginning of the fight, almost. Okay, so your sim has a TP on high ground. Yeah, that's a GG reset. You got shattered, it's over. You got shattered, it's over, GG's reset. Yeah, it's kind of a stagger play. I don't know why you did that. 2 things. Fight was over, right? Fight is over. Your Ana, your Hanzo, and your Symmetra kind of late fed. So when the fight was over, right? Instead of just dying on cart, right? Not further delaying, right? Instead of dying, your Ana decided to heal up the sim, right? She healed up the sim, which made her feet more ult charge. And since all of you walked back instead of just into them to like quick die, it takes a while till your Hanzo respawns now, it takes a while till your Ana respawns now because they both late staggered, and your Symmetra feared more ult charge that she would have, like, she wouldn't have fed as much if you would have just died, right? And you would have all been back together now instead of like 2 people missing still. And if the enemy team wanted to and they were all pushing up, like the entire enemy team would have pushed up to this, they could have even killed you all again since you're all so far forward. I don't know why you were doing it. Okay, so now we need to wait. 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 He just walked past you. Did nobody see him? Nobody see him. First of all, you walked in when your Ana doesn't have sidelines, so you're taking the fight 5v6. Also, how does nobody see this guy? Okay, I guess he jumps down and insta-ults and gets bubbled. There's not much you can do here. If your Zarya has personal, she can use it now. If she has projective, she can use it to save the sim, maybe. Yeah, I mean, this fight would have been lost anyways, so it's okay that they used an ult. It's better than, you know, just feeding without them having to use an ult. I mean, you would have fed either way, but feeding this way is better than feeding when the enemy team doesn't use any ults. Next fight. Okay, you're both like spamming. The enemy Zarya is. That's a grab. That's a 4-man grab. Yeah, you need somebody of your team to like scout a bit. I don't know. You don't really have anyone who can scout. I guess Reaper can kind of scout, but Einstein can kind of scout. So, I guess send your sim to high grounds to scout with TP and maybe your Reaper. Usually what you would have one of the teams scouting for information, but nobody can really scout right now. That's kind of bad. Your Reaper should scout, I guess. Your Reaper shouldn't. Okay, your Reaper. So since you've been having troubles with positions like these, since the Reaper dropped down once and killed your entire team, and now you are grabbed by the Zarya, who also set up here like the Reaper did. Your tanks need to have more awareness, especially your off tank. Don't just focus on this. You need to see this and be like, there's 4. 4 does not equal 6. So where's the rest? Of course we are observers, so we can see that one is up here and one is here, which you didn't. But that's why you usually have somebody scouting, which would be, for example, a Sombra, Invis, walking around, or like a Tracer, who would blink around, look where the enemy team is, or a Genji or something, or anything that can get on high grounds, for example, to scout. And your off tank / main tank need to be more aware of all the angles where enemies can be at. So in this alley where you are right now, this is all the angles enemies can be at, and if the enemy had something like a flanker, they could also come from here. So you need to be aware of like any position where somebody could be at. There could also be somebody down here, but that's like unlikely. Usually people take high grounds or flank, so yeah. Some more awareness, please, because now you're gonna get rolled again. You're gonna die again. So your Rhino is gonna die. The TP was big here. The TP saved people, but now you need to just get out. Since your Reinhardt didn't take the TP in time, the TP died or got destroyed, and your Reinhardt died. So since your main tank is dead, you all need to run away or die again. Just die. Don't try and stagger all charge or something. You can also anti the Reinhardt and win the fight still. So usually, I've done this in a different video, but usually a 5v6 means the fight is lost. So, but if the team that is 6 players has already used a lot of resources or ultimates, the team that has 5 people can still make the fight a win. How so? If the if the team that has 5 people left uses ultimates to amplify their fight, or uses the resources they still have, they might still win. But I thought you cannot win since your main tank is dead, which your entire comp kind of resolves around, or which any comp should resolve around, is the main tank, right? The main tank is the one who's supposed to take the space most of the time, so one resource you cannot take anymore is space. So that's why I thought the fight is lost. But then you had the resource, which is anti-nade, which killed the Reinhardt, which is kind of nice. Since he got antied, he died quickly, so now both Reinhardts are dead. But then your Zarya dies, because I guess she drops. I don't know why she would drop. Sim is also gonna die here, since she drops. Your team could have played, just continued playing split, right? Since, like, your team is split anyways, right? Your Reaper's on the health pack, so he's fine. Your Ana and Mercy are sticking together, so they are fine. And these 2 people were fine. So instead of these 2 people now kind of throwing the game by jumping down here into the rest of the team, you could have just not jumped down there and like rotated to any position. Also, you could have just stayed in this window, since, you know, there's only a Hanzo and a Lucio here. So if you would have just played it for time, for example, if you would have just stalled for time and didn't instantly like do anything after the Reinhardt died, like after the enemy Reinhardt died, you could have just waited a bit. Wait, for example, call out the Hanzo, for example, that he's up here. Yeah, your Ana and Mercy could have just hid, call out the Hanzo, and then your Reaper would have just walked upstairs to kill the Hanzo perhaps, or fight the Hanzo, and then the rest of your team could have like pushed. Then you could have dropped. Then you would have had healing. Then you might have won. This is kind of like thinking too advanced, I guess. Thinking, changing too many things that happened, but still. Didn't really need to drop here. See, because these 2 people drop, these 2 people die since they jump into 4 people. And now the fight is lost. Now you do the same thing over again. You are all going to maybe stagger, but your Reinhardt is going to save your day.
Helden sterben nicht.
Okay, enemy team zoning dragons. Any team zoning dragons because they don't have grav. Since they use dragon, you know they don't have grav. If you didn't know already. So, dragon. Dragon is going this way, which means all of you need to kind of go away right now. All of you are kind of in trouble, and you ran a charged for some reason. Which means he doesn't have charge, which means he can be charged. Right? Always think about the Ryan v Ryan matchup. You can charge the enemy right now. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's because if I exit the pen, it's just like, I don't know why. It does whatever it does. At least your feet though. That's a huge shatter. This will win you the fight. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. Kind of outplayed there. Enemy team Reinhardt. Kind of got outplayed. I'm gonna skip a bit. Wait, you lost. What? What happened here? What happened here? What happened? Why did you lose this? What's the enemy team? Enemy team wants to go for a recon test here. Okay, so the Lucio manages to touch. Gets anti. Doofus charges punch. Okay, they commit an ult. This will be your time to commit ult. He's gonna reverse sweep this with the shatter, isn't he? Kill switch, hello. Hello, kill switch, hello. Hello, kill switch, hello. Kill switch, hello. Hello, kill switch, hello. 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 Okay, I guess kill switch disconnected. Interesting. That's how you lose. Unlucky. That's how you lose. Unlucky. Okay, next fight. Enemy uses a fight-winning ultimate. You use a fight-winning ultimate. They hit their fight-winning ultimate. You miss your fight-winning ultimate. Yeah, that's good one. Doofus be like, I heard a grab. Wee slam. Wait, where is everybody? There's a bug in my room. Oh my god. I'm gonna deal with you later. I'm gonna deal with you later. I don't got time for this. Why do things always gonna ruin my recordings? What the fuck? I'm not gonna cut that out, by the way. Maybe you even heard him fly in or something. That's kind of funny, but only kind of funny. Okay, continuing. Where was I? Ah, yes. Doomfist is like, where is everybody? And your Reaper is going to engage. See the grab and be like, nobody here. Ash sees your Doomfist. Your Doomfist doesn't have slam anymore, so you can only like punch out your Reaper or you used Wraith. Your the enemy Ash has kind of free range over you now, over you two. Also, you all got grabbed, which means you all die again, which means we go again. Next fight. Please, please. Don't use ultimates. Don't use ultimates when the fight is already over. Please. Please, people died. Please, please, people died. Please, people die. People died. 2 of them, in fact. And more are going to die. And you just decide to... good idea if I blossom here. Without any pressure. Okay. So you wasted 2 ultimates. Which means the enemy has ult advantage now again. Probably. Let me look at ultimates. So you have 1, you have 2. Enemy team has... Enemy team has 2. Okay. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You should still be fine here. Reaper is gonna have his soon too. Okay, it's 4 ultimates for you, 3 for the enemy team. It's still winnable. Still winnable. Okay, there we have to fight. The final fight of the... That's a decent shatter. That's a decent shatter. That's a nice Valkyrie. So this should kill 2 at least. Call out the Reinhardt, please. Okay, you commit Nano to save your Rein. The Ashe is popping. The Ashe is popping. Still, it's a 2v4 ratio in this. You swap to a Widow as well. Because of Widow, we're trying to take high grounds and cheeky angles as much as possible. It means you lose some brawl potential, I guess. But you need to. The swap to Widow is fine here to contest the Ashe. Okay, your Doomfist interrupts the Reaper TP. Your frontline is giving up a lot of space. Your frontline is giving up a lot of space. Since they want to fight corner, which leaves your Widow and your Doomfist and your Mercy kind of like out of position. The Rein is out of position. Like, look where his team is, look where the Rein is. The Rein is kind of killable there. Okay, not anymore. That's a big tumult. That's gonna be your pick. This is your wake-up call. This is your wake-up call. Please engage now. That's nasty, actually. If your Reinhardt blocks this, it's nasty. He doesn't block it, but Bubble blocks it. It's fine. That's a nasty shatter with like the uppercut combo. That's nasty. Okay, your Widow has like the huge angle up here. Your Zarya is unaware. How is your Zarya unaware of the Reaper? Widow, please, man, please call. Please call. Your Widow knows that there is somebody there. Just she saw him walk there. So your Widow knows. But somehow your Zarya is unaware? That shouldn't happen. Should all know. Should all know. So we have a 1v1.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Your Doomfist is dead. Yeah, we have a situation on our hand. Your Widow lost the 1v1. You are committing ults, which might win you the fight. The Reaper planned on death blossoming the high ground, then jumped off. Yeah, the Death Blossom is gonna make it so you can't really kill anything in the grab, since your Reinhardt can't swing. Which means the grab was wasted, unfortunately. Okay. Now, since this is your last fight, and I'm gonna make a 2-part video out of this, because otherwise we're gonna sit here for 1 hour, right? Because we're halfway through, and I'm at 35 minutes, which means we're going to look at the defense next time, probably. So, for your last fight, your Widow needs to be aware of Ashe. Where is Ashe? Okay. Your Mercy and Ana need to be aware of maybe a Reaper flanking, which could be the case. Your Doomfist wants to bully somebody, so he's probably gonna punch in. Uppercut. and then slam out. Right? That's usually the movement we have. So your Doom wants to just kind of brawl, engage. Your Rhino kind of wants to brawl, engage. And your Zarya kind of wants to brawl, engage. I guess your brawl, engage core. Your Mercy wants to be hanging around somewhere with the Widow. And your Ana wants to be somewhere close either parties. Since, you know, if she gets caught out alone, she's gonna get killed. You need to be aware of what ults you have and what the enemy ults is, especially in last fight. Since now is the time everybody will use everything left they have. You have one Nano Boy against a Grav, a Bob, a Coalescence, a Beat. This fight is destined to be lost. Will one Nano Boy, which maybe gets a quick shatter, win you this fight? Maybe. Unlikely, but maybe. Also your Zarya side charge, which is very nice. Okay, fight is lost. Thanks for watching, guys. I see you in the next video. Anyways. Of course, also you need somebody to be able to touch, which probably was your Doomfist. You were planning on having the Doomfist touch. Didn't work really out. Didn't really work out. Okay. We're gonna go over the wonderful attack next episode. Since this episode is already 40 minutes long. Can you believe it? 40 minutes. I've been talking shit for 40 minutes. So, to conclude today's episode of the Replay Review series, here's the things I would like you all to improve on. I want to have somebody to scout, which means I want a character that has a lot of movement and is able to sustain and run away when needed, right? So this can be any character. This can be a Ball, this can be a Sombra, this can be a Tracer, this can be an Echo, although Echo's kind of like, This can be anything that has movement, right? This could be a Genji, this could be a Reaper, this could be anything. You need somebody to be able to scout out positions first, right? Second, be aware of enemy ults, be aware of your ults. What do you have? What does the enemy have? Are we able to win that fight? If you're certain the enemy has ults and you do not, and you're going to lose next fight anyway. For example, if the enemy has 6 ults and you have like 2, you don't want to use any ultimates. You want to instead do a dry push where you use nothing. And do a dry push where you don't use anything. So maybe some of the ults get forced out, right? Since you start the fight with 2, the enemy has 6. You want to have a dry push, so you want to force ultimates to like 4 or something, right? You want to force ultimates to 4. And since you didn't use anything, next fight you might have 4 as well. Which makes this even. Highering your chances of success is always good. Increasing your chances is always good. So, this is another thing. Then, I want you to be certain of what type of combo you're running. You're kind of running half and half. Not really running anything. You're playing some snipers, you're playing some brawlers. You're playing some mishmash of different heroes which kind of fit but kind of not fit together. You might want to have like a better fit of heroes. Then I want you to not feed all charge after the fight is already lost. If the fight is a big L, big long L, going in after the fight is already lost It's called feeding, right? It's called feeding. If you continue. Which you did, right? You tried to sustain people in a fight that was already lost. You lost people. It was like a... Okay, even if it was a 5v3, right? This fight is not winnable. You cannot win this fight. This is not a win. So what you instead want to do is not fight it. That's simple, right? You just don't want to fight it. What do? You just die. When you die, you don't feed as much ult charge as when you are sustaining somebody. So be aware of if a fight is lost, or if a fight is won, or if a fight is winnable. Next. If you are in a scenario where you are people down, and we saw that quite nicely, right? We had a nice scenario where you were able to win the fight still. When you are people down like this, you're always free to, if you know that the enemy has less resources or less ultimates, to use ultimates or resources to still come out with a win in that fight. Yeah, understandable? Very cool. Since, you know, when your enemy is 6 people and killed one of your guys, right? For example, like one of your DPS guys. But they committed all of their abilities, all of their possible ultimates, like anything they had, everything they had, onto that one target. And you didn't use much. You're still free to use anything you have. If you have ult advantage, you can use ultimates to still win the fight. If you have more abilities, more resources, more space, you're still able to win that fight, even though it's a 5v6. If you lose somebody and you're committing a lot of stuff and the enemy can't commit anything, you are still winning that fight. Lastly, on the contest, for example, last fight, be aware that the enemy is going to use everything they have, like everything, all their ultimates, all their resources, all their abilities, everything, to either prevent you from touching or from winning the fight. Be aware. You're also going to use everything you have, anything, everything, just all of it on your last fight, since it is the last fight. Actually, one last thing. I like you to play more heroes that can take advantage of space. For example, high grounds. Okay, this is a bad high ground, but still. Since you were playing the Reaper, for example, what your Reaper did is he pushed in with the team, for example, right? And yeah, like there's one shield right here. Let's go one step back. There's one shield right here. There's one shield right here. Your Reaper pushed with you. Like everybody was like, "Hello, good day, sir. We are an entire team grouped up together." There's maybe like some sniper up here. And your team was like, we're all grouped together. Let's just push, right? Let's just push with an Ana maybe back here to heal. What movement ability heroes can do, you know, which is kind of nice, is instead of taking the fight like directly, which is like here, you can instead maybe use your abilities to get behind them, because you don't need to really instantly push, right? Time is a resource you can use. You don't have to rush everything. So you could have your Reaper TP from like all the way back here, and this is only an example, right, to like here. I know, even if this is not a good example, it is just an example. Your Reaper could TP, they wouldn't see this. The enemy would be clueless of where the Reaper's at, or who even is the member on your team. Reaper could rotate and engage, right? Like I quoted up here, right? He could engage, or he can flank the sniper. You always have those freedoms, right? To have somebody that can like take high grounds, flank, and do some shenanigans, right? You can always use things like off angles, which are very powerful, high grounds, which are very powerful. They are there for a reason, and they're there to be used as an advantage. Time is only a resource. And yes, high times is good, but you need to be able to judge when to sacrifice time for winning the fight. We had an example where you could have just waited. Could have waited for your Reaper to flank the Hanzo, call the Hanzo out. But you didn't. Instead, kill switch and like, I think your sim right here decided to drop from a high ground and feed. You don't need to do that. You always have time as a resource. You can always take the next fight. You can always take time and wait for something to happen. You don't have to always do something immediately because it's heat of the fight. This concludes today's episode. I'm going to look at your defense on the next one. I know you have lost this map, and I'm interested in why you lost this map. But to know, we need to check next time. Since this episode is like super long, it's 70 million minutes. It's 50 minutes almost, I see it. Anyways, I hope this helped a bit. And even if it didn't help, just take one or two of the messages I just gave in the conclusion and the end and try to apply them. It will help your gameplay. This has been me, Direct, coaching once again. I'll see you on the defense. Have a good one. Smile.